I'm Mario Sutlovic. I'm from Croatian OTP Bank, and I'm working as head of information security department. I'm head of department for almost 15 years, and from that time I'm using Cisco products. Even before, because my previous position in the bank was the network administrator. So since then I have experience and contact with Cisco products. In these 15 years, we and I as an employee used a lot of Cisco products. Of course, when I was working as a network administrator, there was some routers, switches, etc. And now, let's say, more looking from the security perspective, we are using Cisco Firewall, Cisco Secure Firewall, Cisco ISE or Cisco Identity Service Engine, and that is, from my security point of view, most important products. Let's say that Cisco products for many years were a standard in networking in our company, and of course beneficiary because some of our core IT activities were connected with Cisco, and for so many years it was proven that is a reliable product who can help us to have stable and reliable network and stable and reliable services. Basically, till recently we were one of the most important roles of Cisco Secure Firewall was as a core firewall, central firewall. Maybe not core, but central firewall through internet for internet, and we used it for the, let's say, segmentation of the outside network, DMZ networks, inside networks, and also use it as an intrusion prevention system for protecting our resources from the internet also. All access lists, controls were implemented on that one. A lot of the Cisco Secure Firewall features are valuable. From my point of view, of course, security features which protect our networks are most valuable for me and for my department, who is responsible for the security on our network. So we are using a lot for the investigation of some cases, for analyzing traffic to see what's going on. It's also very valuable when we are investigating some communication between some services in the bank, or how they are communicating and what's happening in the network. Nowadays they are more and more important. Why? Because it's normal that now everyone asks that networks be more open. It's because changing, and recently, especially due to COVID situation, due to collaboration, hybrid way of work, security is maybe harder to work with, but products like Cisco who offer us monitoring and configuration on the one platform allow us to be more, how to say, flexible towards those solutions, and to be able to control our security and our network. I would say that we are very satisfied, because there were no a lot of false positive situation, or there was no a lot of let's say some situation when the traffic were interrupted and without no proper cause. So I would say that the knowledge of the signatures that Cisco Secure Firewall using are very good and reliable, and for us that is very important, because we are a relatively small team in security, and we don't have too many human power to be able to analyze every signature, every event. So if something by default is reliable for us, that is very important. That's what is maybe for us most important. And I would say that Cisco is a large company which invests in security, and if they have reliable signatures and processes in intrusion detection, that for us it's very good. Well, implementing Cisco Secure Firewall, of course, spare our time because we are trying to rely on most of the out-of-the-box signatures. So yes, I would say that help us with reducing our effort and time of configuration within the security requirements network. Well, every solution or every product can be better in some ways. From our perspective, let's say we have some problems with the implementing of new signatures and some new versions on our firewall, and sometimes we have let's say problems during implementation because of short break of our services. Maybe that's something when it could be a little bit maybe better. Maybe we could for us it would be better if we can more understand what's going on in that moment to be able to monitoring why we have some shortage in the services. But it's not long, but sometimes for us it's we weren't aware of what is going on. We always been on Cisco regarding firewalls, but also we have some experience with Checkpoint. It is quite hard for me to compare because we are using Cisco for many years, and Checkpoint it's started to use recently, so it's very hard to compare. But I would say that products are slightly different. Maybe Cisco is more oriented on hardware, on some solutions that are require hardware, and the Checkpoint is maybe more application orientated. But as I said, because we are not using it for the same time, it's very hard for me to compare. But definitely I would say that two vendors have a slightly different approach to the same problem. Hard to say because recently it was more in our network department responsibility, so I don't know, to be quite honest. So I'm maybe not relevant to answer that question. In our company, let's say we are not so oriented on calculation of return on invest when we are investing in security products, because let's say because I'm from financial sector, and there are a lot of regulations and requirements for us to implement different products and security solutions. Then for us it's often mandatory to implement something. So I would say that in that part it's not always calculation of related to return of investment. It's more related with compliance and related to availability and security of our system and services. Currently it's on-premise deployment, so we are deploying all Cisco Secure Firewall on-premise. I would say it was relatively simple, but also I have to emphasize that at least we have a very reliable and good partner who help us with Cisco products, and I think that is based and very important for every company to have local partners on which they can be reliable and that have enough knowledge and experience with those products. And I would say that we have such partner who help us in implementing all different scope of Cisco products, and I would say that it wasn't too complicated, at least for us. Our partner for Cisco products is SmartNet, and they are very reliable, and we are very satisfied with them. experience was great. I would say that there are some people in company that have a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, and a lot of implementation in different creation company. And to be quite honest, it was quite good experience to work with them. Well, during migration, yes, we used the Cisco migration tool, but basically majority of initial activities related to migration was prepared by our local partner. So we were responsible just for the, let's say, overview of configuration and to check if everything is okay, availability of the services and the monitoring of the system. So from our point of view, migration tool was okay, but to be quite honest, for some more relevant experience with the migration tool, our local partner would be the proper target for question. We were working with Cisco support directly, but usually we are working with our local partner. And for us it's much more convenient, faster, and because of their experience they are able, let's say, to solve some of our problems or issue without Cisco support. Of course, in case of some bigger problems, if there is some problems, some bugs or something like that, then we are creating Cisco case and then working with Cisco support, of course. But as I said, almost always first initial contact is our local partner. When if I would like to rate Cisco support, it would be relatively unfair because basically I'm marking our local partner, because as I previously said, majority of our question or problems are going through them. So if we are talking about how I see their services and their support, I would say that is 10. And of course, from our point of view, then it's Cisco support is also good because they are Cisco partners. So yes. Yeah, it's a reliable product, and I mentioned also that stability, it's I would say okay. As I said, we have some problems in situation when we were automatically deploying of some signature, and also there was some issues with central management system with some memory problems and so. But it was necessary to reload the system and so. But generally, I would say that that is quite reliable. Well, I don't have much experience with scalability of that product because usually we are using on-premise solution. Let's say, I would say for the scaling of Cisco product, we are a relatively small company, so usually that products that we are using are sufficient for our needs, and I would say that from our point of view that's okay, because we are, I would say, let's say in Croatia, a relatively big company, but if we are compared with the United States or some big countries, it's from Cisco perspective, we are a very small company. Basically, we are our company is something around 2,500 employees. We have some, let's say, around 500 devices, and more or less that's basically core of the network. Of course, for our purposes, Cisco Secure Firewall is sufficient for that need for we are using it. Well, when I'm rating Cisco Firewall, I would rate it with on a scale from 1 to 10 with 8, because as I said, it's a very reliable product. We can use some predefined signatures. We don't have to, let's say, customize a lot of things. And why not 10? Because it's relatively high, and just because of some small issues that we have with the deploying of some signatures and let's say availability of the management center.